Hi, my name is Nidal Khan, and I'll be presenting on how to refuse typical requests. Typical requests and how to refuse them. When you're refusing a typical request, it is very unprofessional to just say no. You're obliged to give valid and formal reasons for the rejection of the request. The cause for this is if you were to just say no, whoever is requesting you might take things in a wrong perspective, and it may ruin the relationship with that individual or firm. As a result, closing more doors to opportunities you could have had and more business you could have made. Being invited to attend meetings and events is personal and will be taken personally. If the offer is rejected, a lot of planning and organization goes into it. There are two methods of refusal. The two methods are direct and indirect refusal. The direct approach is less formal and takes less effort. And the indirect approach gives them some leverage and would better your relationship with the firm or individual. Now, indirect approach. Okay. So, how to refuse a typical request? When refusing a typical request, it is recommended that you pre-write a letter in order to eliminate any misunderstanding and disappointments, as well as losing your credibility. The purpose of this letter is to reject the request without causing bad feelings or harsh feelings. If bad news, quote, if bad news is serious, consider techniques to reduce pain. This pretty much just means that if you're rejecting a request, it might cause harsh feelings, so you need to be precise and explanatory to soften the bad news. It is very important that you do not damage your business relationships, as they play a significant role in your professional life and your further more to come opportunities. No matter what the level of management, for example, your boss, your employee / associate. Indirect refusal. So I'm going to explain to you how to write an indirect refusal. Well, first off, you start off with a buffer. A buffer is pretty much just softening, is the cushion before the rejection. A buffer will allow you to ease the frustration of the refusal and create a cushion for the reader, allowing the reader to reflect on your point of view and your reasons. When writing your buffer, be sure to speak pleasantly and give lots of compliments because everyone likes to hear them. This is the effective approach when faced with a tough refusal situation. For example, charity organizations or a business meeting. Give reasoning. Give reasoning for your rejection. It is very important that an individual / firm know the reasons for your refusal. Be specific and elaborate your reasoning to strengthen your reason. This is the backbone of your refusal. It should be the biggest part of it, and without reason, your refusal seems like you're taking invitation and hospitality for granted and do not value them as an important contact. While giving your reason, it is commended to be polite and thoughtful, using a passive voice and use of long paragraphs. Bad news. This should be very short and simple, because this is a part that no one likes to hear, and you don't want to make your whole letter about the bad news. They will already know by one sentence that you're rejecting or refusing their offer. This allows you to complete the rest of the refusal to state reasons in your defense. So you can put your bad news in one sentence and elaborate on why you can't make their proposal. It will also come as less of a shock to the reader if you're focusing on the reasons of your refusal as opposed to the refusal itself. The individual is more likely to be compliant to your bad news. Be clear, but at the same time, take light and an optimistic approach. That way you are understood. Furthermore, it sounds more pleasant and better to read. Closing. It is very important to close with a pleasant tone. This is what's going to leave your reader thinking. It would also be recommended that you give an alternative to the proposal, or at least some leverage. So, for example, you could say move the meeting or move the proposal to another date, or you could make a compensation. Last but not least, appreciate and thank their efforts for their proposal. Everyone likes to get appreciated. Supplying information on an alternative and maintaining bright personal tone. Direct refusal. This is a more direct and easier way of just refusing. It's not recommended, but for some situations, it would be more preferred. A direct refusal only consists of a refusal. So in this letter, a direct refusal is giving no explanation for the refusal. It often comes off as a harsh approach since you are only giving a straightforward rejection. It is comparatively easier to an indirect approach because you're just pretty much saying yes or no as an answer. This has its disadvantages as well. One disadvantage is that if you just give a straightforward answer, it might disappoint the individual or firm, and will have a toll on your relationship with them. It could also make them angry and unmotivate them to work with you, in turn damaging your business. That was my presentation on how to refuse typical requests. Thank you for listening, and have a good day. Bye.